Hello and welcome, my soul tribe. This spread is very interesting for the 25th. Now, this will resonate for those of you that were somewhat involved in a third party situation. I don't see that you are actively involved in this situation at this time, but this is kind of the timeline of a third party situation, the fallout or the breakdown of a third party situation, and it's very fascinating. So, even if you're not interested in this, in the respect of like, this is not your timeline, this is not your experience at this time, you might just find this interesting from a spiritual lesson perspective, okay? So keep in mind, these are collective in general. Receive what aligns, release what doesn't. Never take anything that does not resonate with you, okay? Or give your power away to an outcome. Because timelines shift and change with our free will choice. Now, the energies that I see here in this spread, okay, first off, the theme is the Two of Cups in the world. So there is definitely the completion of a cycle when it comes to a relationship, or in this case, relationships, okay? The Two of Cups is about bringing, it's a vibrational match energy. It's bringing the best of yourselves forward into a connection, right? There's a beautiful alchemy. Typically it's love based here. So the parties that are involved, we have the feminine energy that is represented by the oyster. So if you are in this energy, and again, this could apply, you could be any of these three energies. The oyster energy is closed off right now, but there's a lot of magic and alchemy happening. So this lets me know that the feminine energy here was not involved, at least physically, in this third party dynamic at this time, or is not involved at this time. She's focused on her healing, her magic, her alchemy. She's shielded and kind of protected herself at this time. And so if you're in the feminine energy, you've definitely been closed off from the situation. You've protected yourself, you've protected your energy, and you're creating your own magic. You're creating your own timeline, right? With the oyster energy here. You've been doing a lot of healing as well, and it looks like there are a lot of friends around you. There are a lot of spirits or energies around you that are inspiring, that are supportive, that are guides in your experience as well. So that's the feminine energy. Now, the masculine energy we have is the spider. So this masculine energy represented by the spider is wanting to weave his own destiny, but in kind of weaving his destiny through his ego, there's certain things that have turned out and certain things that have not, right? So for the masculine energy, and overall, this entire spread is about free will, which I love. I love to deliver this message here. Okay, the masculine energy is represented by the Emperor. The Emperor energy is the leader. Usually the Emperor is very serious. The Emperor calls the shots. The Emperor, typically is pretty well experienced in career and in life in many ways. Okay, so the Emperor energy sometimes can represent, the sacred masculine energy or divine masculine energy. Don't get caught up on labels. But this energy is very much about leadership and responsibility and, in some respects, burden, right? So it's very, very clear it's a masculine energy here. Now, with the spider energy, we know the spider energy connected in with, creativity. But this masculine, like I said, he created timelines, or this could be you watching this, you created timelines through your ego, so some things, again, you created beautifully in your experience, maybe career. Some things you had to, take down the web, you kind of had to trash, start all over again. But you also got caught up in a lot of these webs, right? Maybe some webs of lies, maybe some deceptive things as well. So there's the light and the shadow, but this masculine energy at this time is moving through the shadow and realizing their free will choice here. Okay. And I'll explain that in a second. Now, the third party, or the dynamic that is breaking down between the masculine and another energy, could be a feminine energy here. Okay. This would more so be the person that's focused on their healing. Now, this energy, I guess, would be like the third party energy, right? This would be you if you're watching this, if, you're going through a breakup with this person, because that's basically, there's a breakdown of a connection here. you have the octopus energy. The octopus is very intelligent, okay? The octopus is very sensitive. The octopus energy also, what I'm picking up from this energy is, has, you have your hands in many different projects or many different experiences. When you kind of go through this breakup, or you've gone through this breakup, or this energy here goes through this breakup, there's so many other things going on for this person, whether it's in career, whether it's they were in an open relationship and dating other people. And there's even a sense of a spiritual awakening happening with all of the beautiful rainbow color here. Okay. But if you're in this energy, on the 25th or around the 25th of January, you're probably pretty pissed off. Okay. We have the Knight of Swords energy. Your energy is angry. So with the clouds, this charger is coming out of the clouds here. This person may have suddenly broken up or said that they want to separate from this energy. Okay. And so the octopus energy, the third party energy, is quite pissed. Maybe have, a lot of choice words for this person. Okay. We do have, the reason I know this is also third party dynamic is we have the Three of Swords and we have the Tower. Third parties are not nice. They're not nice for anyone. Maybe they work for a short amount of time. Maybe somebody benefits in a very manipulative way. However, they eventually just lead to hurt. Okay. They lead to hurt and pain, and, eventually they crumble. And that's what's happening here with the Tower energy and the Three of Swords. And what's kind of crossing that is the Hangman energy. The Hangman energy here is about getting another perspective, a change in perspective. And the Spider was kind of going from the Emperor to the Hangman energy. So this is this masculine having a change in their perspective, a change in their free will choice, maybe a change in their evolution, and deciding to end a connection, okay, with the Tower. Now, like I said, the person that was with this masculine energy, although I'm not feeling that it was very committed, okay, like I said, it could have been like an open connection or something like that. The masculine ideally would want this to be peaceful, like a peaceful separation or peaceful breakup. However, I'm not sure it's going to go down that way. But if you are kind of in this energy where like you were with this masculine energy, and this person was, because I mean, by the time you get to this, you would know this is your story. So this isn't like foretelling. This is kind of what's happening, what's unfolding on your timeline. Remember all the other options and opportunities and things you have going for you. Okay. I feel like you were codependent on this masculine. You might have been holding on to this masculine out of spite or out of ego or out of something that wasn't love. So eventually it was going to break down. It wasn't going to serve you. So if you're in that energy, that was kind of a karmic lesson for you to focus on. And I feel you're really trying to find what it is that aligns with you and what's best for you. And so I feel if you're kind of in this karmic cycle, in this kind of karmic energy, third party energy here, this feminine energy, you are not wanting to leave any stone unturned. You're exploring a lot, and continue to explore, continue to, search out what is in alignment with you. Okay. Because the fact that you had the octopus energy, I sense like you had to manipulate this masculine. Okay. I sense that you probably had to, you also had a lot of other people on deck too. Like, I don't think that your heart was in it with this masculine. I think your ego was. I've got to be honest. Okay. So that might be the case. I don't know if this person is even going to be watching this, but I'm just trying to communicate with everybody here in this timeline and in this energy in kind of a compassionate way. So I feel this energy, once this kind of breakup comes up or maybe happens out of the blue, because this masculine does have a change in perspective. I just saw a U-Haul truck. So somebody could be actually moving, or, relocating. So that might be you, and that might be something that you want to do here. Okay. You might even find, if you were this energy, or, this karmic, I hate to say karmic energy, right? Because everyone's learning karmic lessons, but if you were this energy stuck in this cycle, holding on to this masculine, you were also delaying your own progress moving forward. Hence why I saw the moving truck go by. because there may be some place or space or even other person that you're called to be with. So listen to your intuition, listen to your heart, go in, okay, into that space and really connect in with what your truth is and what you truly desire and truly value. Okay, that's what I'm sensing here for that energy. And I feel like you will move forward with the Six of Swords, having learned what you've learned. And many of you will be traveling, and maybe quite a distance. You might be moving or relocating to discover your own happiness, your own timeline. Okay, because this octopus energy, which obviously holds on and like changes shape. Like, I feel for you if you were in this energy, because you were trying to be whatever you wanted, this you thought this masculine wanted you to be, which is really sad. And a lot of people go through this on their journey because they want to be desirable, and they want to be the fantasy of the person, or the person they see as their person, right? But it's not authentic and true, and eventually it breaks down. And so it's time for you to be who you truly are, not have to like fit into this masculine's idea of what you should be, or fantasy, whatever. It's twisted, it's weird, you don't need that. Okay, yes, you will go through some shadow work, okay, at this time. You'll have to dig deep, but you will find, if you're in this energy, you will find your happiness elsewhere. You will find your creativity, your inspiration, even for some of you, like your destiny, your calling elsewhere, right? This was just kind of holding you up. You were stuck in a holding pattern. Not to say that it's like having that sense of, when I say you'll find that happiness elsewhere, you'll find it within yourself, not within this person or this dynamic. You'll find this happiness within you, and then, kind of taking your power back, being who you truly are, authentically shining. Stop manipulating everything and just be you. And then you'll be able to move forward with your life and your experience for you, right? Because I think you got lost in this. So that's that energy. Now, this masculine energy has been keeping an eye on this feminine energy, okay? And this feminine energy, again, has been closed off, has been, focused on her frequency, focused on her light, focused on her timeline, but also not showing the results of everything, not communicating, not showing this masculine. So like I said, if you're in this feminine energy, you've been in the Two of Swords and you've had a sense of what's going on. With this full moon energy, you might have really felt this masculine energy either pulling on your energy, or you feel this masculine energy is going to show up in your experience soon, okay? But with this Two of Swords, again, you're like, you kind of washed your hands of that situation. You weren't involved with this third party. You removed your energy from it, okay? Your time and your focus. You're focused on something else. And you'll have a decision to make, maybe even around the 25th, because I sense this masculine energy is going to surprise you with the Ace of Swords, the Chariot, okay? And we have the Four of Swords and the Temperance. This masculine energy is going to want to come back to try to heal something with you. Now, what I see this happening is this communication. This person could either show up in your experience, or you could get a call from them, or a text from them, or a video chat call from them, and it's going to surprise you. And it's going to come in when you are maybe resting, meditating, when you're outside doing a nature walk, maybe when you're doing some yard work, cleaning up your space. With that Four of Swords, you're just kind of in this resting, recharging mode. Okay? Focused on you, this, and your own alchemy. Now, this is really interesting. So, the whole purpose and point of this timeline is kind of showing that everybody can get truly what is for them out of this experience if they let go and trusted within their own experience. Like I said, the masculine had to go through shadow work, had to realize free will, had to untangle himself from a lot of manipulation, but a lot of manipulation he did too. So it was his karma, right? Or your karma. Everybody has karma. There's no judgment. I'm just sharing this as it's showing up here. The feminine energy, again, has been, that the masculine energy has been focused on, has been closed off, and indecisive maybe about this masculine energy, indecisive about even thinking about, if this person comes back into my experience, what am I going to do? What am I going to say? How do I feel? So the feminine's been going in and doing that work, okay? And like I said, this masculine energy is going to show up. Maybe it's around the 25th. It doesn't have to be the 25th. Everyone's on a different timeline. And it's going to be surprising. It's going to be shocking, because we have that Chariot energy too, that's surging forward. This masculine could even travel toward you, right? And it's going to surprise you, and you're going to slow it down. You're not going to let this charge forward if you're in the feminine energy. You're going to navigate this in a very mindful and present and connected way, right? With that temperance energy. You might be interested in healing something with this masculine. You might be interested in some sort of closure here, okay? Some of you might be interested in starting over or having a new beginning with this masculine. It's up to you and your free will choice, and that's the whole point of this entire spread. Now we get into the oracles. We have graceful gratitude, embrace gratitude and fostering positive connections, and inviting in more blessings. And we have blossoming stitches. So again, for all three involved, there is blossoming happening. Even though there was a breakdown of a relationship or a dynamic, it was not built on, a strong foundation. It was not built on a true foundation, right? There was a lot that was misaligned within it. It was not meant to last, basically. So all three parties, all three energies here can have gratitude for how things unfolded, right? And the good that came from it. Like I said, that energy that was maybe in distorted feminine energy, going through the breakup, like you lost yourself in that. You lost yourself in like the game or keeping this person in your experience or manipulating them for your ego. And you lost your reason. You lost your purpose within that. You lost yourself within that game and the manipulation. And it could have been mirrored back and forth between the two of you. I'm not just saying it's you. It's masculine for sure. That also was happening here. But it ended up becoming a toxic, weird thing, right? And so you can have gratitude now that it's helped you identify what you don't want. And it's helped show you how to navigate some of your own shadow and distorted feminine aspects so that you can create something healthier in the future, right? Within yourself first, and then maybe again in another dynamic. But it's taught you and shown you that contrast, right? And for the masculine energy, same thing. Like, obviously the intentions were not pure in this dynamic, and it unfolded the way that it did. There were lessons that were taught. But because there is this realization, because there's the releasing of what doesn't serve. I mean, look at this Three of Swords. Look at all the storm energy, right? It served no one. The only purpose it served was a lesson, right? A lesson here. And now that has kind of, it created a lot of storms, it created a lot of chaos, it created a lot of, anger and hurt and confusion and illusion. And like both parties in that connection got lost in it, right? So now the masculine, you can count your blessings and be grateful for getting out of that situation, finding yourself again, because you got lost in that. You got lost in that karmic cycle. You did too. And the feminine can be grateful for listening to herself and listening to what is best for her, for protecting her energy, for going within, to know that when she's making decisions from within her own experience, not being manipulated by another energy, okay? Not feeling like, she has to people please. So the feminine energy here that's been doing a lot of healing, can see the beauty in that as well. And since there was an indecisive energy with the feminine energy, there can be appreciation for the masculine energy that comes in here. Again, if it's healthy and safe, and you don't have to necessarily allow this person back into your experience. This is just what I'm seeing for those of you. There was a third party dynamic here. But, if someone was like super toxic or abusive, of course, keep them out of your experience. But what I'm seeing is that there's either some form of closure or some sort of appreciation for the completion of this cycle, for the completion of this chapter. For some of you, you'll just hear the breakdown of the connection, and that will bring you peace of mind or harmony, right? Or some of you, again, you want to heal a dynamic with this person, okay? It just kind of depends. But what stands out here is embrace gratitude and fostering positive connections and inventing more blessings. So aligning with positive connections, right? So if this connection is something that could be positive, that's one thing. If it's not, then right? But all three parties, need to realize, embracing positive, healthy connections moving forward. Because there was like this karma playing out from past lives, these old dynamics, it was this weird, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Toxic soup. I mean, but people, everybody kind of learned lessons within this about themselves, about others, about relationships. So again, there was a purpose to it, but it was all kind of oddly like thrown into the mix and mixed around and chaotic and odd and weird, and all these things, happened and unfolded, but ultimately it led to alignment, I guess, is kind of the golden word here. We also have woven destiny, unearth the threads that interlace destinies connecting us all. Understanding why things went, unfolded the way that they did. Yes, through free will choice. Yes, through lessons that were learned. Like I said, even looking into the distorted feminine energy here, I can very clearly see that energy, and also again feel for that person, because they lost themselves in that, right? They were not happy within that, and it was very clear and obvious. Okay. So there's also looking at like how everyone had a part to play in this and take accountability with the woven destiny. But it's almost like the tapestry has been created of this timeline. The chapter, that book can close and there can be a new one. And what that new book is, I feel like it's a book, or like it's already been like a tapestry created through that experience of that timeline. Now it's something brand new. And now it's being navigated from free will choice and being more present, and conscious with what you're creating, and aligned and connected in with yourself, and aligned and connected in with love, and like a higher frequency timeline and meaning and purpose, right? We also have emerging promise. Patience and faith will guide you to realize the potential that is just starting to bloom. So there's potential, again, in maybe different areas for all three of these parties, but this is all coming together. This is all coming to fruition in like this closing out of this cycle. Like I said, you can take that tapestry now down off the wall. It's time to start something new. And whether or not, again, like you want to heal something with this person, or you even just heal the news that this is over, and you just feel like relief because the cycle is clear, the cycle is done. It could be that. It depends on what you want, but always choose what's for your highest and greatest good. Okay. So that is what I have for the 25th. This was fascinating. I literally was just like, what would be best to explore at this time? And this is what unfolded. So I hope that this helps someone. It brought them value. Even if this wasn't your timeline, I hope that you watched this and thought this was interesting and unique. And, the spiritual lessons, and, even just like unpacking, this is like a typical third party relationship, right? This is like a third party template relationship, breaking down. And so I don't feel like we were entering into this in the beginning. I don't feel like this is for someone who is currently in a third party relationship dynamic, consciously knowing, and when you do that, you attract karma. Like it serves no one. The message of third party relationships typically is to get out of it, to choose yourself, to not choose that person, but to choose yourself. And that's the big message here. This would be somebody who you've been outside, for most of you, you've been outside of this third party dynamic, and this is just news of that energy, that relationship, breaking down. And this person might be coming back around to try to heal something with you, communicate with you, connect with you in some way. And this is a little heads up about that. If you're watching this and you're currently in a third party connection or dynamic, this is inevitably what happens. They break down. Okay, so be cognizant of that. You have your free will choice. You can explore. But yeah, I feel like this is very clearly a third party template, and it's pretty clear that, again, some of you, you'll be entering into this and looking at this reading on your journey where, again, you've been outside of the third party for a while. Some of you, you're in a third party, and like you are knowingly in a third party situation with someone romantically, right? And this will kind of hopefully bring you some clarity and empowerment, and to choose yourself, to not choose that person, okay, but to choose yourself and not put up with less than you deserve, right? And for others of you, like you're way outside of this. You've already been through this on your timeline, and you're like, yeah, I remember those days. Yep. Okay. So anyways, again, receive what aligns, release what does not align. Never take anything, again, that is not your story, but I do hope this brought value. I enjoyed unpacking this. It was really, really fascinating, interesting, and what I love about it is that everybody kind of choosing themselves and choosing what was best for them instead of holding on to what no longer serves, through ego or through whatever reasoning that was low vibrational, that wasn't helpful, that wasn't doing any good. So it's nice to see that everybody kind of has their happy ending or their new beginning or their emerging promise, specific for them, in a really healthy and beautiful way. And I like that. I like to see that. I like to see that everybody kind of wins here. But they all had to go through their journey and go through their lessons and, choose themselves and choose what's for their highest and greatest good. So, yeah, thank you so much for being here. Take the best care of yourself, and I will see you soon.